it it's the way I describe it is like it's kind of like normal, hard, and extreme. You know what I mean? Like you could go on Fear and Hunger first and not really feel any shame. But Terror Starvation is definitely the most like realistic, I guess, version of Fear and Hunger for the most
Well,
part.
I mean, I gotta go with the not. Listen, if it's gonna describe it as easier mode, like, come on, I can't do
Yeah.
that. I won't do hard mode because that just sounds like
The difference
something
that I
I
think is
shouldn't.
pretty cute
Mm.
is that okay, so I'll explain when you get there. I'll explain when you get there.
You were born with the soul of domination that makes people around you bend to your will. You are a natural leader, but you might often end up blind to self-criticism. Your birth sign wasn't enough to warrant a future of greatness. You were also born into a wealthy, noble family. At an early age, you were sent into training to become a holy knight of Kingdom of Rondon. Fitting. Training to become a squire was a harsh school that spared no one, no matter if you were from a noble origin or not. A practice sparring match between you and a well-seasoned squire took place at the central training grounds. It is said that a fighter shows their true colors in their first fight. This applies to you too. When you saw the sword coming your way, you raised your buckler in defense. As time went on, you proved out to be a gifted fighter and a valuable asset to the kingdom. However, the kingdom of Rondon claimed to follow the will of the gods in its pursuits for more power. But all the rewards seemed to fall in the laps of the elite and the noble, sitting conformably behind the castle
Comfortably, comfortably,
no, no,
it's
no, no, no.
comfortably.
No, it's conformably, not comfortably.
Okay, okay.
Ruthlessly, the kingdom would expand its reign, reducing the feeble citadels to ashes and blood stains, enslaving the poor millfolk, whilst every man is slain. Only spare a child or two, that its legend may grow. Your devotion was shaken. You were all but ready to retire from the army, but your family insisted. No, they demanded you to stay as a holy knight, or else you'd bring great shame to your family. You decided to listen to your family as they said.
Okay, bro.
You swallowed your grief and doubt and decided to stay as a holy knight. In the end, you could try to fix things up from the inside. You figured. Your family gave you a gift of 20 silver coins.
Amazing.
Just as things seemed too dark, you saw light in the darkness. You met a captain of a small mercenary army who seemed to share the same ill will towards the kingdom of Rondon as you did. The common folk were starting to gather around the charismatic leader, Ligard, who shared humble origins similar to farmers and villagers alike. There was definitely something otherworldly in his stature. Ligard saw potential in you, and with warm words, he almost seduced you to join his band of mercenaries. Thanks to your rigorous discipline, you took a high position in his men, in the Knights of the Midnight Sun. Your army was growing fast in both size and influence in the western regions. The Kingdom of Rondon would first use your services to their own benefit, but soon saw you more as a possible threat to their modern reigns. Something changed with Ligard as well. He kept more to himself and studied ancient texts and occult. you became obsessed with some relics and artifacts that gave you ominous feelings and terrible nightmares. Things that only spiral towards madness, with even more when Legard decided to raid the northern capital, Oldegard. Without a warning or negotiations, Legard killed
It's like I'm not even here.
Is there ever one who stood in the way between him and this mysterious...
You know what's cute about this game is that this was originally meant to be like a YouTube series, but the guy just like who was running on like I think like a 1990s era computer, by the way, he's some like guy from Finland. Was like, I could turn this into a video game if I tried hard enough. I love the videos where he was beta testing this, and he openly had to like cut the video several times because his computer would keep like bricking the game. Be like, sorry guys, my computer's not great. Give me a second. This game is, yeah, it's so good. This game is really good with the context of it being made with like a $20 budget.
That's funny. It was this small overblown that was enough of an excuse for the kingdom of Rondon to turn common folk against Legard and justify his imprisonment. As the troops of the Rondon army charged towards your clearly small army, you had to choose which position to take in the coming encounter. You decide to spearhead the incoming assault. You get an iron spear. You also get an iron cuirass and arm guards. The Knights of the Midnight Sun lost the fight. Many of your colleagues were slain, but you managed to escape the battlefield. Legard was taken as a captive to be used most likely as propaganda. You knew you didn't have much time before he would be sentenced to death, so you had to act fast. Even if it seemed like a suicide mission, you decided to save Legard from the prisons he was held in. Before leaving for your desperate journey, you decided to stock up on equipment and items. You get 7 tinderboxes, a quill, and a blue vine. Save your character info before starting the game.
Really immersing yourself in this. Alright, here we go.
Dungeons of fear and hunger stand in front of you. Alright, well, that's that.